Okay, so now let's go to the second part of the chapter 1, which are the basic statistics. So we're going to discuss what is the difference between an accuracy and a precision, but how can we determine if it is an accurate data versus the precise data? Are all precise data can be considered as an accurate? Next, let's have the types of errors, and of course, what are the measures of essential tendency and variability. Accuracy tells how close a measurement is to the true value of the quantity that was measured. It can be determined by what you call percent error. So, when you see accuracy, we have the target data, which can be considered as the true value. For example, the density of water is always 1 gram per ml. So this is the true density of the water. When you try to do an experiment about it, you always get 0.99 gram per ml, which is considered be as inaccurate because it is very close to the true density of water, which is 1 gram per ml, wherein you've got a value of 0.832 gram per ml. This is not already considered as an accurate because it is very far from the target data, which is 1 gram per ml. Okay? Precise data, it means your measurements or your data from the experiment are on the same range. Ibig sabihin, close yung measurements ng data mo. But, hindi ibig sabihin na close yung measurements ng data mo, it is considered as an accurate. For example, again, this 1 gram per ml, density of water, but your data says 0.776 gram per ml, 0.765 gram per ml, 0.773 gram per ml. As you can see, these three measurements that you have were actually close to each other. This is called precise data. This is precision. However, this is not considered as an accurate because this is all of your measurements are very far from the true value of density of water, which is the 1 gram per ml. Okay? Just like a target bullseye. So, you have here this one clustered sila close to one another. This is high precision but is low accuracy kasi sobrang layo dun sa bullseye. This one is considered they're not close to each other, low accurate, low precise, and also low accuracy kasi very far from the bullseye. This one naman, this is can be considered as accurate kasi malapit sa bullseye yung measurements, pero low precision kasi medyo magkakalayo sila. And this is the very ideal data. High accurate na nga siya, malapit sa bullseye, and close to one another, which is high precision. Okay, now let's go to what are the different types of errors, which is the random error, systematic error, as well as the gross error. So, when you see random error, it can also be called as the indeterminate error. When you say indeterminate error, it arises from the effects of your uncontrolled variables. So when you say random error, it has an equal chance of being positive and also a negative. It is always present and cannot be corrected. An example of a random error is associated with a reading skill. Actually, a very good example nito, kunwari ay kayo nagbabasa ng thermometer, temperature, then sobrang lakas ng hangin ng electric fan or ng aircon, that is considered as a random error because the temperature inside the room will vary kung saan nakatapat yung aircon. Kung kayo nagma-measure ng thermometer sa tapat ng aircon, of course, mababa yung temperature niya. What if naman kung hindi kayo doon sa nakatapat sa hindi kayo nakatapat doon sa aircon, of course, it will have a different temperature. So that is called random error. So next is systematic error. It can also be called as determinate error because it is a flaw from your equipment. For example, hindi nakalibrate yung balance natin. So, hindi pantay. So, as well as may error dun sa mga glasswares nyo. May mga dumi which add ups to the volume ng liquid. So those are called as the systematic error. There are three types of systematic error, which are the instrument errors caused by the imperfections in measuring devices. We also have your method errors arrive from non-ideal chemical or physical behavior of a analytical systems, and personal errors due to the person itself. Meaning, si person, mali yung reading niya, instead of, for example, when you read, you should always read sa lower meniscus. Ang na-read ni person ay itong part ng upper meniscus, which is very wrong yun. So, hindi pwede. Dapat laging lower meniscus tayo. Okay, so those are the three types ng errors natin. Of course, if you do not have any error, it will lead you to a data that is highly accurate and highly precise. When you have a random error, yes, it can still give you accuracy but will lead you to a low precision. Pwede magkakaiba-iba yung data. Since, for example, kakaiba pa yung data. And of course, systematic error as well. It could lead you to low accuracy. For example, since hindi nga calibrated yung equipment, kunwari nadagdagan siya ng weight, of course, it will lead you to a very far data from the original value. So lastly is the gross errors or mistakes that make the measurements very far off or known to the accepted value. Example, the experimenter reads 31.9 degrees Celsius, pero ang actual reading is 21.9. So this is an error that is called as an oversight. Usually, sobrang layo ng pagkakabasa ng person. Again, these are the three types of error, which are your systematic error, which could be far away from the true value. Random error, yes, it might be close to true but cluster yung data. But gross error, some of the data are close to true, pero may mga iba na sobrang outlier na tinatawag. Kunwari, si first two person, malinaw yung mata, yung isang another person, sobrang labo, then yes, magkakaroon ng outlier talaga. So, these are the three types: random, systematic, and gross error. For the random, there is no solution because it came from the environment itself, conditions of the environment. Systematic, pwede siya kasi you can calibrate pwedeng ayusin yung mga equipments natin. We can use standards as well. And of course, gross error, you just have to repeat. Kung 3 times kang trials nyo, you can do 6 trials. Okay, let's try to identify these types of error. So, number 1, it says here, student calculated the density of water in 3 trials as 0.98, 0.985, and 0.2. Okay, as you can see, one of the data is an outlier. Again, if you have an outlier, this could be considered as a gross error. Say one of your data is very far. Next, vibrations that causes sensitivity to the top loading. Again, vibrations. Vibrations is a condition of the environment. So, kaya nagkaroon ng pagkakaibang data because of the vibrations. Conditions ito, so therefore, random error. Measuring your height is affected by minor posture changes. This is still conditions. So therefore, random error. How can we know if the data is erroneous? How do we measure error? How do we report errors? Can be reported using your statistics. So again, there is always uncertainty in a certain measurements. That's why the challenge for us is to minimize or to lessen those uncertainties. So we have different statistical tools that we can be used to accept if our data is actually correct or not, diba? We have what you call summary of statistics, which is the central density. So, central density represent the center point or the typical value of a data set. So, ang tatlong to ay si mean, median, mode. When you say mean, this is the average value. Median is the middle value. Mode is the usual repeated value in a measurement. Okay, so we all know that mean is the summation of all data sets where xi represents the individual value of x, making up a set of n replicate measurements. So, summation lang po ito divided by the total number of your data or measurements. Kagaya ito, calculate the mean of the given data. You have 310, 314, 325, 300, 327. So, you just add all of this. Then, since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lahat ng data. So, divided by 5. So, now you have 315.2 ppm. That is our mean. When you say median, this is the middle result or the middle data. When you arrange your data from your lowest to your highest value. So, if we're going to arrange it, so if you're going to arrange this one, you have your 310 as the lowest. We have we're going to arrange this one. You have 300 as the lowest, followed by 310, 314, 325, 327. So our middle is 314. So that is called as the median. Again, arrange first from lowest to highest. Okay. Mom, what if we have two median values? So what you're going to do now is, for example, these are your value arranged from low to high. Your median value are 310 and 314. You have to divide it by 2. So 310 plus 314 divided by 2. Now our median value is 312 pico. It's now 312 parts per million or ppm. Okay? So now mode is the most frequent value or the usual value that occurs in your data. So as you can see here, 325 has 2 in the data. That's why the mode is 325 because it occurs twice or it occurs the most in the data set. So now let's go to your standard deviation. So measures how close the data on your mean. Kung yung data sets mo ba ay malapit doon sa mean natin or tatawag na average. For example, si 310 ba ay sobrang lapit sa 315? Si 314 ba? Si 325, si 300, at si 327. Lahat ba ng data sets na to ay very close sa value na 315.2. That is what you call standard deviation or the SD. So, again, this is the formula of SD. It is just summation of mean minus the data squared over n minus 1. And RSD can be computed as the SD over the mean value. X means mean na. Again, this is the summation of mean, summation of data minus mean squared, tapos n minus 1 tas square root. Okay? So, let's have an example. Okay, so the SD can also shows you the normal distribution of the data. So, let's try to calculate this one. Again, to do that ng mano-mano, you have to calculate the standard deviation and the relative standard deviation of the data below. So, for example, these are all your data. This is data minus mean. So, meaning dito, 310 minus 315.2, negative 5.2. So, this is 314 minus 315.2. This is negative 1.2. This is 325 minus 315.2 mean, 9.8. This is 300 minus 315.2, negative 15.2. This is 327 minus 315.2. This is 11.8. So what you're going to do now is to square this value. Negative 5.2 squared is 27.04. Negative 1.2 squared is 1.44. 9.8 squared is 96.04. Negative 15 squared is equal to 31.04. 11.8 squared is equal to 139.24. Then you have to add all of this. Now this is the summation, which is 494.8. Next, 494.8 divided by n, which is 5 minus 1, then squared natin. Your SD is equivalent to 11.12. RSD, or relative standard deviation, is written as 11.12 divided by the mean. Now you have an RSD of 0.0353, or in percent form, it is, which is times 100, it's 3.53%. RSD will tell us if your SD of the set data is very small or large compared to our mean. So, it will tell us yung spread ng data kung masyado ba magkakalayo, very large ba yung magkaka-disperse yung data, o very minimal lang and very close yung mean natin. Okay? So, a very good RSD should have below 10%. Okay? So, meaning, since 3.53% yan, meaning, yung SD natin will tell us na sobrang magkakalapit yung mga data sets natin. At sobrang lapit niya doon sa ating mean na 315.1. So, now let's go to what we call percent error. So, theoretical values are predictions or calculated values based on a principle. Experimental are result from your experiment. So, when you're trying to get the difference between the theoretical and experimental, we get the percent error. Theoretical minus the experimental value over theoretical absolute value times 100. So, wala pong negative dito ha. Kung negative ang data nyo, i-absolute value, magiging positive siya. Okay, let's try this one. A chemistry student is conducting an experiment to determine the density of a substance. The accepted or theoretical density of the substance based on literature is 2.70 grams per centimeter cube. After performing the experiment, the student obtains a density of 2.45 gram per cubic centimeter. So here, the literature says it should be 2.70. That is your theoretical, 2.70 gram per centimeter cube. minus your experimental data or your data from experiment, 2.45 grams per centimeter cube. Your theoretical is, again, 2.70 gram per centimeter cube. So if you're going to compute that, you would have 0.093. So this is absolute value. So positive siya times 100. So our percent error calculated is 9.3%. So that is your percentage error. Okay?